promised Colorado we'd get sick of winning. Today, the president's biggest loss. Trumpcare dies, with Republicans from Colorado holding the knives. We'll discuss winners and losers you might not have considered. Pretty sure Cherry Creek Schools called a snow day for rain, spit on for their service. A long-awaited thank you for these vets. And we go in search of the elusive Aurora Palm Tree after we discuss a monumental day for healthcare and politics on Next. All right, so let's get right to politics guy Brandon Rittiman to talk about some of the winners and the losers today. Some of these are pretty obvious.
Yeah, the obvious one's Donald Trump, president, loser. So is Paul Ryan. They really wanted to get this deal done. It's a promise they've made. And Democrats, obviously, winners because they were able to do nothing, essentially, and defend their health care law.
And we can stipulate that any Coloradan who is happy with their health care today is a winner, and anyone who is dissatisfied with the current state of health care is a loser because Republicans were promising some changes. Then there is the aspect of defunding Planned Parenthood, which was part of this bill and not talked about a ton. So today in the winning column, you have to put pro-choice Coloradans, and in the losing column, pro-life Coloradans who wanted to see it defunded.
Yes, but there's more agreement in the Republican Party on doing something against Planned Parenthood than there is on what to do with something really complicated like all of healthcare policy. So that could very easily come up in a bill that's all on its own.
I would assert that two Republican congressmen from Colorado who represent largely rural areas, Congressman Ken Buck and Congressman Scott Tipton, are winners because their votes mattered. They were in that core group of conservatives that ruined Trump's plan.
They were holdouts. So, yes, you could call them winners because they've got newfound authority in negotiations. That'll only get you so far, though. If they're, seen by Republicans widely as holding up the Republican agenda, that could come back to haunt them later.
And I would say that Congressman Mike Coffman, Republican of Aurora, has to go in the losing column today because just this morning he came out as a yes vote, and then the bill never happened, and he's got his name attached to it as a yes vote.
Yeah, I mean, he basically tied himself to the Titanic right before it went down.
And you have to say a loser today, based on the events of the day, is anybody who believed candidate Trump when he came to Colorado and said this.
We're going to win so much that the people of Colorado are going to be sick of winning. You're going to say, oh, I can't stand it. This guy, this president, he wins too much. We're not used to it. We can't take it.
Not a lot to add to that tape other than things that you say in the campaign trail come back to haunt you. And no, President Trump doesn't wield some magic wand that other presidents didn't have. When he says he wants to do something that you need Congress for, still need Congress.
Hashtag governing is hard. Politics guy Brandon Rittiman. Many thanks.
Appreciate it.
So the University of Colorado is having a private meeting on Monday. Regents are going into a special executive session, and no one will say why. But we have a pretty good idea. We expect the Regents to get a report next week on the investigation into the CU football program and the allegations against former defensive coach Joe Tumpkin. He was arrested in January, charged with assault. Court documents tell us that his friend reported domestic violence to the head coach, Mike McIntyre. CU's hired 2 lawyers to find out if the athletic department violated any policies once its leaders were aware of the allegation.
I'm Steve Stager. A hair salon seems a strange place to battle domestic violence, but a state lawmaker believes we can gain some ground there on a crime epidemic that impacts 1 in 3 women in the United States. It is all a matter of trust. Just about anything can be a topic of conversation here.
Children's birthday parties, vacations, what you're having for dinner, what your best friend and you did this last weekend, what you remember of it.
John Poriselli will tell you, you form a bond with your client, so it can be easy to tell when something's wrong.
Certainly you can put 2 and 2 together and see that there's something more going on, usually in their behavior and their actions.
So it's understandable. Democratic State Representative Edie Hooton sees a salon as a place to start.
Hairdressers in particular are in a very unique position to recognize signs of abuse.
Her bill would require anyone getting a cosmetology certification or renewal to go through an hour-long class on domestic violence.
How to recognize signs of domestic violence and abuse.
But it doesn't require those hairdressers to report it. Why not make the reporting mandatory?
Because we don't want to put hairdressers or their clients at risk. We don't want to make them subject to criminal or civil liabilities.
I don't have the years of schooling and qualification to make that decision.
She may not be in a position to make a report, but Poriselli says a little extra learning doesn't hurt.
When you really look at it long term, having that knowledge could never be bad. And if there's anybody that could be helped by it, what's an hour?
The bill passed its committee on a party line vote. The full House is expected to weigh in next week. If it becomes law, funding would come from license fees.
Steve, thank you. Time to ask, we have to, is the A-line working today? Steve, do not spoil this. All right. Mo technology, mo problems. Another power issue near Peña Station this morning. RTD ran trains every 30 minutes instead of 15, but they ran doubled married pairs. We had to ask, too. That's train talk for running 4 joined trains together, so RTD didn't lose any capacity for passengers during that time. And a reminder, A-line's down for scheduled maintenance Saturday night into Sunday morning, 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. RTD is going to run buses to Union Station and out to the airport all along the A-line. The entire Cherry Creek School District got a snow day today because some of it saw snow. Parents stuck rearranging their lives with kids stuck at home due to a bit of rain got steaming mad, and Nextdoor is the website where people go to get mad these days, and neighborhoods in Cherry Creek schools got an earful. One parent suggested packing up the kids and dropping them off at school anyway, which I believe was a joke, not certain. Bottom line, district says some of the school buildings did need a snow day due to local conditions in the eastern part of the district. Decision was made to do a district-wide snow day to eliminate confusion and also to save money on transportation. Our next question comes from a viewer named Me. Danielle Grant, how'd that forecast work out for everybody?
You know what, pretty good. I would say I'd give myself about a B+. We did all right. It fared pretty decently here in the metro.
Yeah, but you're here to own it, and that's what I love.
Yes.
And I knew last night you had a really complicated forecast in front of you. What were the hits? What were the misses?
So the hits, 100%, we knew this was going to be a wet and windy storm, delivered just that. As far as the water goes, we thought about a ½ inch to an inch, and that pretty much delivered too, here in Denver and then to the south and to the east. We also knew road closures. That was going to be a problem. I-25, I-70 early this morning, we had the strong winds, we had the snow, total blizzard out there. What did I miss? The snow in Denver.
Yeah.
You know, I know a lot of folks wanted to see it. Heck, I wanted to see it. I was giddy last night. I was just like, let's make this happen. However, the rain snow line, we knew it was going to be so close. It was just kind of wavering to the south of the city. It was just going to be a matter of degrees. If we saw that rain switch over to snow, it was 77 yesterday. We couldn't make it happen. But hey, they saw snow to the south. We saw water. We desperately needed it. We got a good drink around here.
And I knew exactly what you were going to see in your email and on Twitter and on Facebook this morning, which is, where's my blizzard in Denver when there was never a blizzard predicted for Denver?
We never, ever, ever said that. It was going to be south, Douglas County into Castle Rock, and it happened right there.
All right, Danielle Grant, way to own it.
Thank you.
Come back anytime.
Okay.
Vietnam-era veterans talk about what's changed since the war and what changed for them today. A word about our weather and whether we should banish the word. And state troopers spot a mirage in the snow. Donuts. Next. The most Colorado thing we saw today was sweet relief from the storm. Spotted by CSP troopers down around El Paso and Teller counties. It's been a long morning, they tweeted. Is that a mirage? Yes, it is a Dunkin' Donuts truck, apparently run off the road up ahead. CSP's got jokes, donut jokes, and we love them.
Getting around this morning south and east of the city, no picnic. Heavy wet snow with about a ½ inch of liquid precipitation, bringing our monthly total closer to where we should be for this time of year. I'm meteorologist Kathy Sabin. One storm system moving out. Winter weather and travel advisories have canceled out. Another one on the way, and that will impact your weekend plans. Thankfully, less wind tonight. The wind creating the blizzard conditions out on the eastern plains yesterday. But once the winds died down, sun came out for a short time, enough to get us to 53 degrees this afternoon. Our storm will create a line of severe storms and travel issues from Chicago to Houston. California storm comes in here on Sunday, bringing us a chance of rain showers, snow in the high country. While we see clearing tonight, we're done with the snow here. Our low around freezing. Temperatures are going to soar back into the 60s tomorrow. You gotta love springtime in Colorado. We have a series of storms that are actually going to make it across Colorado over the next 7 to 9 days. So while we have sunshine and 60s Saturday, chance for rain Sunday, and then again Tuesday. Tuesday. I'm going to watch this Tuesday storm closely. Right now it looks like rain, but we get that cold air support and it could be right back to snow. Speaking of snow, great shot coming in from Winter Park.
Kathy, thank you. A call recently went out to Vietnam-era veterans in our community asking if they'd like to participate in a commemoration ceremony marking 50 years since the time of the war. So many veterans responded, 600, that today was the first of 8 planned ceremonies. Photojournalist Eric Kay takes us to Lakewood for an exercise in gratitude.
Vietnam veterans that came back did not quit. You had every reason to quit. You had every reason to walk away, but you did not quit. You did not quit on our country. You did not quit on our military, and you are responsible for building the great nation and the great military that we have today.
First name is Richard, last name Livingston.
Evan Lewis Totten.
Abe Alonzo.
I served in the United States Navy.
I was in the United States Marine Corps.
Was one of the very first volunteers.
If you look at the World War II generation as the greatest generation, I would argue that the men and women that served in the Vietnam were the forgotten generation.
I came home.
And I was told at that time, take off your uniform, don't wear your uniform in civilian society.
I walked through the airport, San Francisco, and I got spit on. I was in uniform, I got spit on, and that hurt.
When I got to California, I got rid of my uniforms and flew home as a civilian.
It wasn't very civil.
Today was about honoring, thanking, recognizing, and showing respect for our Vietnam War veterans.
Bill Bates, U.S. Army. Daniel Joseph Brown, U.S. Army. Richard Allen Livingston, U.S. Air Force. Ronald Williams Service, U.S. Navy. Evan Lewis Totten, U.S. Navy. Abel Alonzo, U.S. Marine Corps.
Today's a great day. Yep. You just needed to see the expression on the faces of those men and women who, for the first time, were being told thanks, who were the first time being told that we appreciate what it is they did and respect what they did. And they did an honorable thing to serve our nation at that time. They deserve that credit.
Very much appreciated, even tears in my eyes.
Today makes it better, but it doesn't take away the pain of losing the good people who gave their best.
And I think this is long overdue.
Bottom line is, we have not forgotten. We will not forget.
A next viewer would like to be heard about a word and how we use it. The internet thinks there's a palm tree in Aurora. Next exists to find out if that's true and how to support quality journalism and cute babies. All right, give me a word for Colorado's wild weather. Hot yesterday, cold today. What's your word? Somebody out there said or thought bipolar. I've heard it here on our air before. I'm not sure if I've personally said it. But Sarah Hashman is a viewer who asked us to consider whether any word, any other word, might be a better choice.
Colorado has like some of the nicest weather I've ever seen anywhere. The weather's not bipolar here. It's indecisive, miserable, hideous, cray-cray, nuttier than a fruitcake, batty, unbelievable, completely ridiculous. Yeah, words like that. There's a lot of really great words you can use that don't necessarily have to be insane or bipolar. I am Sarah Hashman, age 21, and I have bipolar disorder. The weather's not bipolar here. Calling it bipolar is devaluing what it means to have bipolar. If the weather were really bipolar, it would be 3 weeks of beautiful, 70, sunny, wonderful, not light breeze, and then you get 6 hours of it's 105 degrees, wind is blowing, it's scorching hot, like no clouds anywhere, and everything is really high energy, and then everything stops and it goes completely black and it's negative 50 for 3 weeks. And it's just freezing cold, and it feels like there's no hope, there's no light, there's no stars, there's no sun, there's nothing. It's just clouds and darkness and cold. My bipolar weather is that, basically. I don't want people to think that I'm angry about it, but I want people to be aware of it.
Just a thought. And next is your forum to share your thoughts on topics that you're passionate about. That could be serious or lighter. It's your call. We're here to listen and then to share thoughtful perspectives with all of Colorado. You can always get our attention with the hashtag HeyNext or email next@9news.com. So today, 2 nationally award-winning journalists on the Next team spent part of their day trying to figure out if there really is a stupid palm tree in Aurora. Because we're working for you, people. And you were wondering about the Reddit post about the rare Aurora palm tree and if it was for real. So we found the house in Aurora. Thank you, Google Earth and Google Maps. Journalism skills. And here's what it looks like today. There's just the stump. There's no palm tree. Pretty sure there never was a palm tree. It was just the trimmed up top of a pine tree. But Next dogged journalists would not stop there. We knocked on the door. We rang the doorbell. No answer. So we don't really have a great answer for you, except that not everything on the interwebs is exactly as it seems. Of course, we do actual journalism around here as well, and we invite you to support journalists everywhere. Do it for the sake of our republic. Or do it for the babies. Love this. Eric Larson from the Fort Collins, Colorado, tweeted this photo of his daughter Libby, reminding everyone that when you support local journalism in your community, you support jobs and you help feed and clothe cute babies. Feed a baby. Subscribe today. It's a spine. It is a sign, and it was spotted in Denver's Cap Hill neighborhood. Notice. Thank you for noticing this notice. Your noting it has been noted, and it has been reported to the authorities. I have absolutely no idea what this is about, but I love it, and so did Josh Rogers, who emailed saying, maybe this one's already been noticed and sent to you, but I couldn't take the chance. Don't take the chance. If you see a sign worth sharing, email next@9news.com. Use that hashtag HeyNext. Danielle Grant, Kathy Saban, now Becky Ditchfield gets a shout out on today's show. Becky is still collecting your votes on her Facebook page on which animal charity should get Next's money. Becky won a bet by dropping an on-air mention of the hashtag that we all got trending this week, hashtag also not a wolf. A few thousand of you sent Aurora Animal Control photos of dogs that are also not a wolf. So one of the rescue organizations in the running for the cash on Becky's Facebook page right now is the Colorado Wolf and Wildlife Center. Very appropriate. Your good news brings us home on a Friday, toasted with your choices of your favorite Colorado craft beer. Next. This newscast will not leave you with doom and gloom, murder and mayhem, nor will we close out with a kicker story about some zoo animal in another state. We finish Fridays around here by saluting the good news in your life.
It don't matter the weather. It could be rain, sleet, snow, shine. Denver is the place to be.
First good news is that I am going to be working for the EPA. I studied water quality, so I'm looking forward to seeing what I can do to help keep the integrity of the EPA.
Or we come down here, he loves to watch the construction. To him, that's good news to be able to look around and see everything that's happening.
The good news for me today is that I bought a book called Emotional Intelligence, and I feel like this book will help me get in touch with my emotions while I'm having them to help me control them better, because I'm very impulsive.
I'm in an electrician apprenticeship. I'm in my first year of schooling, second year in the apprenticeship, but I just got 100% on my midterm for my second semester. So I've got that going for me.
He's working on his shyness.
It can't get any better than that.
Had to start at the bottom, you know, and work my way up.
Enjoy fantastic food and be fat and happy. Either love it or leave it alone.
That's my favorite segment. We finished with your feedback. You've been telling us your favorite Colorado craft beers. Jim says Left Hand Milk Stout. Greg, Old Chub on the cask with cherries. Michelle, Dry Dock Apricot Blonde. My personal pick is going to be Great Divide, Enemy of the American People IPA, brewed in collaboration with local journalists, pouring at Collaboration Fest in Denver this weekend. See you next time.